In this project, I'll be looking at which parts of the brain are responsible for which direct functions while playing basketball. The first part of the brain we'll be looking at is the cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and is about 2/3 the size of the total brain. It is divided into four main lobes. These lobes are the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the temporal lobe, and the occipital lobe. The cerebral cortex is a thin layer of white and gray matter that covers the entire cerebrum. Inside the cerebral cortex, there is the auditory cortex, the visual cortex, the sensory cortex, and the motor cortex. The motor cortex is extremely important in basketball, as it is responsible for all deliberate movement. This includes running, jumping, shooting the ball, dribbling, or passing to a teammate. The motor cortex is located in the frontal lobe. The auditory cortex is located in the temporal lobe and is responsible for hearing. Hearing is important in basketball, as you need to be able to hear your teammates calling for the ball or hear the sound of a defender behind you. The visual cortex is located in the occipital lobe and is responsible for all sight information. Sight is very important in basketball, as you need to be able to see all the players in the court around you. You need to be able to see the hoop if you want to shoot the ball, and you need to be able to see anything you might run into. The sensory cortex is located in the parietal lobe and is responsible for integrating all of the sense information from all five senses. This is important in basketball, as you need to be able to process all the things around you at once to make good decisions and not mess up. In basketball, you could easily be in a circumstance where your teammate was yelling at you that there was someone behind you. And if you saw open space to the right of you, your sensory cortex, along with the other two, would process this information, and then your motor cortex would help you move into the open space. The corpus callosum is the bunches of nerve fibers in between the two hemispheres of the brain. This is very important, as the certain sides of your brain are specified in different tasks. For example, the left side of the brain is specialized in everything that has to do with speech, including hearing and producing speech, whereas the right side is more involved with other sensory tasks. So in basketball, it is very important that if you hear something and you need to understand that on the left side of your brain, it could then turn back to the right and communicate that need to the right side of your brain. Next, we will be looking at the limbic system. The limbic system plays a role in emotions, learning, and memory. It includes the hippocampus, amygdala, hypothalamus, and pituitary gland. It is located mostly in the temporal lobe and the forebrain. The amygdala is located in the temporal lobe, and it handles the fear and threatening emotions. In basketball, oftentimes you are scared of getting your shot blocked. Next is the hippocampus. The hippocampus is also located in the temporal lobe and is responsible for long-term memory. In basketball, oftentimes you must remember to stick close to the shooters no matter where they are. The hypothalamus is located in the forebrain. It controls many things, including regulating emotions, blood pressure, and body temperature. In basketball, its most important role is keeping blood pressure and emotions low so that you can stay focused. The pituitary gland is often referred to as the master gland of the endocrine system. For basketball, its main purpose is it's working together with the adrenal gland to release epinephrine. The cerebellum is one of the most important parts of the brain for basketball. It is located towards the back of the head under the cerebrum. Its key functions include still memory, balance, the maintaining of posture, and voluntary movements. For basketball, its most important thing is how it controls your still memory. There are a lot of stills in basketball that once you practice them a ton, they just become second nature. This includes dribbling, shooting layups, shooting free throws. If you do them enough, they become second-hand nature, and this is all done with the cerebellum. The thalamus is located just above the hypothalamus in the forebrain. It plays a role in pain sensation, attention, alertness, and memory. In basketball, its most important function is a function of alertness. In basketball, you never know what's going to happen, and you must always be paying attention for loose balls or a pass coming your way. So the thalamus helps you stay alert. The next section of brain parts is the brain stem. The brain stem connects the spinal cord to the other parts of the brain and is a big player in automatic functions such as breathing and digestion. In the brainstem is the medulla, the pons, and the reticular formation. The medulla is the part of the brainstem that is directly adjacent to the spine. It passes the information from the spine up to the rest of the brain. In basketball, this means any information from your spine or your legs or your arms goes through the medulla to the rest of the brain. The pons is located in the brainstem. The pons controls a number of vital automatic functions, including breathing, as well as connecting the two hemispheres of the brain. Basketball is very tiring, and the pons helps you keep your breathing up so that blood can keep going to your muscles and anywhere else you need it so you do not get tired. The reticular formation is part of the pons, and this part of the pons is extremely important in the sleep-wake cycle and filtering between stimuli that is important and background stimuli. The reticular formation is extremely important in basketball because there's a lot of stimuli around you. Your ears and eyes, as well as your senses on your body, are always taking in signals. And if it wasn't for the reticular formation, you would have no clue what you need to pay attention to and what you need to ignore. So it helps you pay attention to what actually matters in the moment. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you learned something about the function of the brain that helps you moving forward in this class.